Hey everybody, Justin Critchfield here with Chandler Davidson. Welcome, man. We've got a nice topic for everybody.
Yeah,
You've been getting questions from clients. I've been getting questions from clients. It's a common question. So what is the question we got today?
Yeah, so typically when we're talking to some of our sellers, they're asking us once that new spot of upgrading is, do I sell it or do I take advantage of the market and rent it out? And there's definitely a few benefits and negatives on both sides. So what would you say are some of the benefits right from the get-go there?
Yeah, so good question. I mean, obviously when people think of renting their house out, it's usually because they want residual income.
Yep.
Right? And I think that's a fantastic idea, right? Lots and lots and lots of rich people have several rental incomes.
True.
And it is because they've got that residual income. They're paying down their principal loan.
Sure.
Right? And then the third thing is it's a tax shield.
Okay.
So big tax shield, save you some tax money up front. Now, selling benefits, the main reason is just you're going to be able to free up that cash. You're going to be able to unlock the equity that is in a house. So if their primary house, they bought it for $200,000, now it's worth $400,000.
Right.
They can take that $200,000, go plump it down on a $700,000 mortgage. They'll have their 20% paid for, no mortgage insurance, and they'll be able to get a nice low payment.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So there's some benefits there. Obviously, there's some downsides to doing that. So what would you say are some of the things to be aware of as well?
So downsides, rental, we're just gonna start naming them off. You're gonna have to hire a property manager. They're gonna take 10% off the top. If you don't hire a property manager, then you're gonna be the one dealing with tenants and toilets.
Sure, yep.
You're gonna be getting those calls in the middle of the night. And you know, one thing that happens is when those tenants are in your property, there's no guarantee that they're going to keep that property in as nice a condition. In fact, the only guarantee is they're not going to keep it in as nice a condition as you did. And so it would be a shame for someone to rent out their house and have the tenant totally destroy it.
Of course, yeah.
And then a lot of that profit that they got, a lot of those headache, ends up coming back to bite them in the butt because they beat it up so bad.
Yeah, and it's bound to happen.
Yep.
I mean, they don't love it as much as you do, so it's something to definitely keep a mind on for sure.
It's true.
There's one that I was kind of thinking of. That one, I don't know if you've mentioned it, as far as something to pay attention to, is capital gains.
Yeah. So great question, great thought. Capital gains is the big one that I'm saving for you guys because this is kind of the big deciding point, in my opinion, of whether you should rent or whether you should buy. So capital gains tax is applicable if you have not lived in your primary residence for at least 2 of the last 5 years.
And most people don't think about this.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if that is you, we're going to kind of give an example. Let's say they bought the home for $200,000.
Okay.
This is a real life story of a client in Lehigh that we've got, bought for $200,000, ended up selling for $400 plus.
Okay.
So they're getting they got a nice big check at closing. So let's just say sold for $400K. Well, if they had moved out and rented it for a little while, they would end up paying 15 to 20% on capital gains tax, depending where your income bracket is. So let's take the 20% capital gains tax. That would obviously be a profit of a tax. Sorry, I wrote this a little bit wrong, but it's a $40K tax implication problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to owe $40K in taxes likely. And on top of that, you have to actually pay back all the depreciation you took on all your other taxes, which is very key. A lot of people forget about that. All that depreciation that you took off, which is a nice tax write-off initially, has got to be paid back. So your tax bill, if you've been renting it out and taking that depreciation, is going to be a lot higher than the $40K.
Yep.
When that happens, it's obviously painful.
Yeah.
Very, very, very painful. So what my final suggestion is to people is like, look, if this is your primary house, sell it. Put that money to work for you on your next house, free up that equity, and then what you do is don't use all of the equity, turn around and go buy a rental property, put down 40, 60K on that rental down payment, and you now still have access to 160K left for your primary residence to get that payment super, super, super low, and you get rid of all that potential tax liability that has to happen that you could have done it for free on your personal property.
So would you say then at the end of the day, give us a call, get some clarity on what you're trying to do, whether it's sell, rent it, whatever you may be, whether it's capital gains or a little bit of mix of in between. Call us up, get some examples, and let's see what we can do for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck, guys.